There are a few things that people don't tell you, things that you don't get taught at school, which you should, in my opinion. They don't tell you that your childhood wounds, your childhood neglect or abuse will not be filled by a relationship, a man or a woman. It will not be filled with money or success or power or material things or partying or sex or traveling or parties. We are not told that in order to find true fulfillment, joy and happiness, peace and tranquility, we need to overcome our pain. We need to come to terms with our shadows. We need to come to terms with our inner demons. This is the only way to evolve, to heal, to become the person we were meant to be. This is the only way to have healthy, loving, respectful relationships. When we grow up, we look for what we missed as children. We look for it desperately. We look for it in different places and become disheartened when we don't find it. And we try harder to achieve more, to be prettier, thinner, more sexy. But the truth is that our attempts to be happy only end in suffering for ourselves and others. We are not told the truth. We are convinced, or we have been convinced and programmed to believe that a bag or a pair of boobs or a house is gonna fulfill that emptiness, that void that you feel. It isn't true. Nothing and no one out there in this world can heal you, can be replacement for what you feel you missed as a child growing up. No one has told you, no one has told us that we have subconscious beliefs. We have limiting programs in our subconscious mind which determine 95% of what we do, of our choices, our behaviors. It is time, I believe, in my humble opinion, to look within, to stop searching and searching outside, in parties, in friends, in men, in women, in money, in fame, in things, for that spiritual connection with a higher power. And that higher power could be nature, God, however you understand God. That higher power can be higher consciousness, divine creator, universal energy, the cosmos. The important thing is to start to invest in looking within. Unfortunately, we are told stories that don't work. The success story doesn't work. We need to harness our self-worth and our self-love. And neither of those can be dependent on something outside of you. What happens if you lose your job? What happens if your marriage ends? What happens if your children go away and never want to see you again? What happens if your business breaks? What happens? It's awakening. That's what happens. We awake to the truth that there is a spiritual world. We awake to the truth that life has value And that value is intrinsic in each of us. That love, that harmony, that peace, that tranquility, that love, that bliss can only be found within us. Obviously, when we look within, we first find the pain, we first find the trauma, we first find the codependency, and in many cases, addictions of all sorts and kinds. But beyond that, but below that, when we do the work that we need to do to find ourselves, to love ourselves, to be that powerful, empowered, divine, spiritual being that we came to be in a physical form, having this physical experience, then it transforms our lives and we become an agent of change. No one tells us the truth. That void that you feel in your heart, it will not be filled with anything outside of you. Start to nourish yourself. Become acquainted with your own emotions, even if they're uncomfortable. Just sit through them. Sit down, breathe, understand what you're feeling. At this point, you don't even need to understand why you're feeling what you're feeling. As long as you become aware that you have these emotions, these strong emotions of anger or sadness or pain, despair, envy, whatever they are. So I encourage you, and all of you to have that spiritual awakening within yourselves, to get to know yourselves, to understand that what you seek outside is inside of you, buried beneath all that pain, buried beneath all those ego programs. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you find peace within.